Pour yourself something strong, folks, because we're about to relive one of the wildest finishes you didn't see coming in the 2026 NCAA tournament. Tonight on Bourbon Beer and Basketball, we're breaking down Cal Baptist's near miracle comeback against Kansas. A game that had everything: a 20-point deficit, a furious rally fueled by downtown bombs, and a blue blood sweating bullets in the final minute against a mid major that refused to go quietly into that good night. Cal Baptist, the Lancers from Riverside, California, a program that's only been tournament eligible since 2018, walked into their matchup with Kansas as massive underdogs. But somewhere in the second half, they found lightning in a bottle. Three pointers after three pointers started falling. Kansas, one of college basketball's most storied programs, suddenly looked rattled. The lead evaporated. Social media exploded. And for one glorious stretch, it looked like we were witnessing the upset of the tournament. Now, spoiler alert, Kansas survived. But this wasn't just another first round game. It was a reminder of why March Madness is the greatest sporting event on the planet. So grab your bracket, settle in with your favorite pour, and let's break down every wild moment of Cal Baptist's gutsy performance. We're talking X's and O's, clutch shot making, coaching adjustments, and what this means for the future of mid major basketball. This is the kind of game you watch with bourbon in a hand, replaying every possession and asking yourself, what if? Let's dive in. So, welcome to the show, my friend and co host of Bronco Nation Live and member of the Bourbon Beer and Basketball panel, Nick Wade.
Hey,
Nick, how you
thanks for having
doing?
me on.
Yep. Nick, you started the tournament in second to last place in our Bourbon Beer and Basketball Conference Draft Challenge. But thanks to St. John's and UConn, you now sit within striking distance of the leaders. How far do you see those two making it?
Well, in my brackets, I have St. John's going quite a long way, so I'm going to probably have to be leaning on them to give me a chance at taking over our little challenge. So, um, but yeah, one of the reasons I grabbed the Big East was because I thought that I had a great chance at as they got into the tournament to pick up some points.
All right. Let's focus in on one of the most dramatic near upsets in recent NCAA tournament history: Cal Baptist's heart stopping comeback against Kansas comeback attempt. The Lancers, a mid major program from the WAC that only became fully eligible for the NCAA tournament in 2018, shocked the college basketball world by erasing a massive deficit against the Blue Blood Jayhawks. Though ultimately falling short, Cal Baptist's performance embodies everything March Madness represents: grit, fearlessness, and the belief that anything can happen when you step between the lines. So let's set the scene, Nick. What was the atmosphere like when Cal Baptist was down 20 at the half? Did anyone see this comeback brewing?
Oh, this was actually um, leading up to what we saw with the Texas and Akron game, where you had one of these mid majors win their conference tournament and then go in and kind of lay an egg. But yeah, it was pretty bleak leading into halftime with Kansas up 32 to 18, I believe. Kind of, to be honest, I kind of wrote Cal Baptist out. They were kind of this in the same boat as Akron. Akron was where Utah Valley had won the regular season title, and Cal Baptist took that rubber match from them in the tournament and grabbed that AQ to get into the big dance.
Yeah. Walk us through the strategic shift that ignited Cal Baptist's run. Was it defensive adjustment, offensive scheme changes, or just pure shot making getting hot?
Yeah, I think it was just one of at that point, a team gets to are we going to do this? Is they get into that desperation, and you either go all in and you make this. But I think what happened for Cal Baptist is the guard play really picked up. You had Dominic Daniels start going off. Um, they were able to get enough space from a bigger Kansas team, more talented team, to get enough space to get some of those shots off, and then also the defense worked as well in the second half. I believe they outscored Kansas 42-30. But I think a combination of that and Dominic Daniels remembering that he's the leader of that team to step it up and try to get those glass slippers on.
Yeah. From a basketball analytics perspective, what did Cal Baptist do in those final 8 minutes that made their shooting so devastatingly efficient?
I think it was a pure sheer will from Daniels to get enough space to get off some of those shots and as well the other teammates knowing that he's got the hot hand and moving the ball around to get those open shots. I mean, even when they weren't open, but just enough to get something to where they could work with the where they are outmatched by a power four team.
Yeah. Here's the hot take question for you. If Cal Baptist had pulled off the upset, would it have been a bigger Cinderella story than some of the famous upsets we've seen, like your UMBC over Virginia type moments?
I mean, I think it would have been ranked right up there with them. I mean, they're a 13 seed, and they definitely let the Jayhawks know, hey, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're not at the field house. You can't be riding on those coattails. So I think it would have ranked up there. I mean, it was pretty improbable. If you watch that first half, you may have just shut the TV off and just counted that as all right. Well, I'm going to lose some points in my bracket with this one, but they came back with some heart. And had they been able to muster up another 9 points and got the win, it would have ranked up there with some of the best. I mean, we've already seen some moments already in this 2026 March Madness that rank up there in history. We would have had probably another moment, another shining moment in 2026.
Yeah. How did Kansas manage to hold on? What did Bill Self or the Jayhawks veteran leadership do in crunch time to prevent the complete collapse?
I probably put this on Bill Self. He's he is a weathered. He's a champion, and he's a great coach. And like I said, they're not in Kansas anymore, and when that comes, time management helps. And I think for this, you got to have a leader, in charge that can keep the troops level-headed, and I think that he did just enough to keep them from choking this one out.
Yeah. On the show, you're our resident designated driver. You always bring the non-alcoholic brews to the show. What's the perfect drink pairing for this matchup, or excuse me, for watching a game like this? A stressful game, something smooth to calm the nerves, or something bold to match the intensity?
Back in the day, that first half would have been a call for some shots of Jack for sure, and chase it with some Budweiser. But definitely needed something potent to, if you're a Cal Baptist fan, to get that. But and then had they gone through on the second half and completed that upset, that's when you break out the champagne and celebrate a big win. But in this case, Cal Baptist has nothing to cry about. I think that they redeemed themselves from that first half, and they should feel proud about what they did in the second.
Looking ahead, what does this performance mean for Cal Baptist program for the long run? Does a moral victory like this translate into recruiting momentum and national respect?
Oh yeah, this definitely helps their program. I've been covering the WAC all season, and with Utah Valley moving on from the conference, Cal Baptist and Utah Valley and Southern Utah battled it out all season. With Cal Baptist taking that rubber match in the tournament, and then grabbing that AQ. They will be returning to the WAC all alone. So this will definitely help their recruiting within conference for sure. And also, you know, with all the other mid majors and possibly those looking to transfer out of the Power Four and take a look at Cal Baptist and go, hey, if I go there, I have a good shot at making the tournament. So yeah, I think that this performance that they just posted against Kansas will definitely help their recruiting and the program as a whole.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Bourbon Beer and Basketball One-on-One. Nick, thank you for joining us, and good luck in all of your brackets. Kansas avoids Cal Baptist upset bid to the tune of 68-60 and will face number 5 St. John's on Sunday. Until next time, stay safe.